Hello, and thank you for joining us tonight on the program. Hides and skins, the end product of animal production, are valuable and renewable resources of national and international significance. Let's go there tonight on the show. Good evening and welcome once again. Hides and skins trade is one of the neglected businesses in Nigeria following the discovery of oil in the early 50s. This apparently created bottlenecks for the indigenous entrepreneurs who had to grapple with the astronomical rise in the cost of production. Let's take you back to the beginning. History has it that traditional tanneries boomed in Nigeria, employing traditional methods to convert raw skins into quality finished leather products. And the commodities were major export products during the colonial era. Nigeria is known to produce one of the best quality hides and skins globally. But at some point, importation of the salted hides and skins commenced. And experts say these imported ones are of low quality compared to high quality products from Katsina, Sokoto, Kano, and other parts of northern Nigeria. Data from the National Bureau of Statistics showed that Nigeria recorded surplus of 126.66 billion naira in international trade of hides and skins leather between 2014 and 2017, raising concerns as to whether or not it would be more beneficial to supply Nigeria's leather industry with local hides and skin than export them. These and other matters relating to hides and skins production in Nigeria will be dissected with emphasis on how to make the trade lucrative to attract the younger generation of Nigerians. My name is Kirian Umayo, and next on the show is the news. A constitutional process of producing substantive leadership for the All Progressives Congress at all levels has commenced nationwide with the World Congress. President Muhammadu Buhari joined the APC family members to participate in the exercise at Sarakin Yara Ward A in Daura local government area of Katsina State. State House correspondent Adamu Sambo reports that INEC and other interested organizations sent their representatives on observation mission.
An apostle of justice, constitutionality and the rule of law, President Muhammadu Buhari is here at Sarkin Yara, a ward of Daura local government, to give credence to the process of electing the leadership of his party. As one that put a stop to the attempt at tenure elongation for due process, this is a demonstration of leadership by example. And in line with the provision of the APC constitution, a consensus method was adopted through affirmation in producing the 26 party leaders for the ward, as well as the 5 delegates for the local government congress. President Muhammadu Buhari expressed satisfaction with a peaceful, orderly and transparent manner in which the exercise was conducted as provided by the rules and guidelines of the party.
Well, this arrangement is what we expect. The full participation, as explained by the governor. People understand it, they have accepted it. That's why they send their representatives for the final stage at this level. And I'm very pleased that I have come back to my own ward and started the whole exercise from here. And I hope throughout the country, the party has been able to organize it in such a way, and it has been so successful.
So the congresses have just started. What is your message to the APC family members nationwide?
Well, I would like us to be orderly, to be loyal to the party, as this team has been for the last 4 years. And I hope they will keep alert, keep themselves informed what is happening in the country, and make their contributions at every level.
The president said, having chosen to be a true Democrat, he will always be guided by his conscience in service to the nation and humanity. Uppermost in his mind, he emphasized justice, equity, and fairness for the good of all Nigerians, believing that he will fully account for his actions and inactions in the hereafter. Governor Aminu Bello Masari of Katsina State, who witnessed the exercise, called for prayers for the president as he strives to genuinely address Nigeria's fundamental problems for sustainable growth and development.
Even though I have not yet passed judgment, but basically on what I have seen, and confirmed that the Congress has taken place and people so far elected were duly elected in accordance with the constitution of APC.
Local government congresses will hold on the 12th of this month in line with the general timetable of the party, while the state congress will be held on the 19th. From Daura in Katsina State, Adamu Sambu, NTA News.
In another World Congress election, Vice President Professor Yemi Osinbajo has commended the people of Etiosa, wards A and B, for the peaceful conduct and election of their representatives during the Congress. Professor Osinbajo was speaking as he addressed the ward members during a visit to the wards.
Vice President Professor Yemi Osinbajo visited his homestead after the Congress and expressed satisfaction with the smooth conduct of the elections at wards A and B, Agungi Ajiron and Ikate Elegushi of Etiosa local government area. He expressed confidence and assured the people that the APC-led administration will remain accountable to the people and ensure adequate provision of basic infrastructure.
As I've been saying all over the country, the difference between us and any other government is that we will not steal the money. We will use the money for the people. And no matter what anybody says, no matter what they say, you must be confident that even with we have been earning, because of the oil prices, we have been earning 60% less than previous years. But God is helping us. We are getting more and more and more. With that, we will see the changes we need.
The APC World Congress also held in other parts of Lagos State, where it was held peacefully with a large turnout of people.
And the conduct of the All Progressives Congress APC World Congresses in the Federal Capital Territory was generally peaceful, as most of the immediate past officials were returned unopposed in all the wards. Timothy Yusuf has details of this and other reports from the states.
The conduct of the World Congresses across the Federal Capital Territory largely witnessed affirmation of most of the immediate past executives. Secretary of the FCT APC Ward and Local Government Congress Committee says the affirmation is in line with the party's constitution.
The process was acceptable to the people.
The consensus that the constitution of the party allows for, and that is what you saw today.
I think it's a sign of further improvement in the way and manner APC conducts its affairs.
From Minna, Niger State, the APC World Congress in the 274 wards was adjudged peaceful and fair. Dauda Mohammed reports that this was the consensus of a cross-section of party stalwarts.
We are completely satisfied with what we have seen.
We're quite pleased with what we have seen. It appears the congresses went on very well, very peaceful.
And in Kano, Abdullahi Mustafa says coordinator of the exercise, Halim Sagoda, described it as commendable. This is against the background of the peaceful conduct of delegates and contestants across the 44 local government areas of the state. From Port Harcourt, Rivers State, the APC World Congress witnessed impressive turnout of party faithful. Onengiye Fineface reports that the party secretariat was, however, cordoned off, arising from the vandalism of the structure. Lukman Adefeso, who visited some wards in Abeokuta North and South local government areas of Ogun State, says the World Congress of the APC was successfully and peacefully concluded. Chieftains of the party know that they have never had it so good.
We don't have any issue. After all, from the report for that was, I've visited about 10 to 11 wards today.
The people here, both the young, the old, the youth, are all very excited about what has happened here today.
The World Congress in Cross River State did not hold following a vote of no confidence passed on the Dr. Stanley KZA's-led committee by party stakeholders and members. Report from Calabar says after several attempts to reach a consensus failed, stakeholders consequently postponed the exercise indefinitely. In Abuja, Timothy Yusuf, NTA News.
And one more to go on the World Congresses. Voting by delegates at the Ekiti State APC governorship primary election was suspended due to the misunderstanding among some of the aspirants during voting. Let's now join Phil Obano in Ado-Ekiti for more. Hello, Phil.
Hello, Kirian. Welcome to Ado-Ekiti. The All Progressives Congress governorship primary election in Ekiti State has been suspended indefinitely until further consultation between the primary electoral committee and the party's national headquarters. The decision was announced by the electoral committee in Ado-Ekiti. Salihu Abdullahi monitored the exercise, now reports on the situation.
A total of 2,408 delegates were accredited from across the 16 local government areas for the APC governorship primary election. Unlike in the past exercise, this time around, accreditation and voting took place in the same venue, Oluyemi Kayode Stadium. The exercise some of the delegates described as a peaceful development that will add value to APC's success in elections.
We never do this type of exercise in stadium before. We used to do it in the halls. So this one is different.
It was in orderly manner, well organized and well arranged. I cherish the organization.
It has been a smooth exercise before suddenly some group of delegates started protesting alleged malpractices in the whole process. Now, voting has stopped, and all the aspirants with the committee members headed by the governor of Nasarawa State, Umar Tanko Al-Makura, went into a closed-door session. What the outcome of the meeting will be, we'll keep you updated. From Oluyemi Kayode Stadium, venue of the governorship primary election, I'm Salihu Abdullahi, NTA News.
And the chairman of the APC Ekiti State Governorship Primary Electoral Committee, Governor Umar Tanko Al-Makura of Nasarawa State, has granted an interview to journalists on the development. The details will come to you in the course of this bulletin. In the meantime, we return to Kirian for more.
Thank you, Phil. From Ado-Ekiti. Now, in other news, Vice President Yemi Oshibajo says more than 7.6 million children in 22 states of the Federation are being fed daily under the National Homegrown School Feeding Program. The Vice President said this during a visit to one of the benefiting primary schools of the program in Akure, Ondo State. Doris Olumoko reports.
The Vice President explained that the school feeding program, which is a fulfillment of one of the electoral promises of the APC administration, is to ensure that children are fed with very good meal every day in public primary schools across the country. The Vice President, who had lunch with the pupils, added that the meal will improve the children's health, boost farming, and create job opportunity for Nigerians.
So this is all very interesting. We're looking at what the issues are. I've discussed also with the cooks, just to get a first-hand feel of how this is going in the different states. And I think it's very, very good.
Addressing beneficiaries of the Empower program, the Vice President revealed that another 300,000 Nigerian youths will be engaged in the Empower program, which is in addition to the existing 200,000 graduates, adding that the new set will teach pupils in public primary schools.
That we're able to put all of our teaching materials on a tablet, and that tablet can then be used, easily by the teachers. I think it's really revolutionary.
Ondo State Governor, Mr. Oluwarotimi Akeredolu, commended the federal government for their efforts in bringing both programs to the states and attributed the success of the programs to the positive relationship between the state and federal governments. Vice President Yemi Oshibajo also inspected the pilot scheme of the special intervention in energizing markets as productive clusters at Tico Market, and also went around stores where solar panels and lights are being installed as an alternative source of power, which is a federal and Ondo State government joint venture. In Akure, Doris Olumoko, NTA News.
Now, the federal government has reaffirmed its commitment and determination to overcome challenges of security and development in the country. This was by the Minister of Defense, Mansour Danali, at the grand finale of the 54th Nigerian Air Force Day celebration. Olajide Bello now reports.
The Nigerian Air Force has undergone several developmental stages with continued government support in the acquisition of military hardware for effective discharge of its constitutional roles. Some of the newly acquired platforms were put to test in demonstration of its air power and gallantry of officers and men of the force. Recently, new commands and units were established to respond to emerging security challenges in the country.
The role of military as an enabler of national development cannot be overemphasized, as effort will be put if national security is best guaranteed.
The growth of Nigerian Air Force, both in terms of manpower and equipment holding, dictated by the evolving contemporary security challenges, necessitated the reorganization of the service so as to be able to swiftly and adequately respond to emerging contingencies.
Hallmark at the grand finale of the 55th anniversary of the Nigerian Air Force Day 2018 was the induction of the two newly acquired Mi-35M helicopter gunships into the NAV platform. From the NAV base in Kaduna, Olajide Bello, NTA News.
And I'm now joined by Air Vice Marshal Olatokunbo Adesanya, Director of Public Relations and Information from our Kaduna studio, to talk more on the Air Force Day celebration. Air Vice Marshal Adesanya, you're welcome to Weekend File.
Very much.
All right, now it's been 54 years of the Nigerian Air Force, and when you look back from inception to now, how has it fared?
Without doubt, the Nigerian Air Force has evolved from a stage of infancy as at 54 years ago to what we now have now, a very formidable force on the continent of Africa. One will recollect that at its infancy, the Nigerian Air Force was conducting its operations without the use, for example, of what we call the intelligence, surveillance, and reconnaissance platforms. But today, our operations are conducted with these platforms, which, of course, enhances efficiency and effectiveness in our operations. When we look at the area of aircraft maintenance, there was a time that the Nigerian Air Force relied on foreign vendors for virtually all its maintenance activities. But today, we are proud to say that we are able to conduct some of our major maintenance activities in Nigeria. As we speak now, we have the periodic depot maintenance of one of our C-130 Hercules aircraft ongoing in Lagos. In the area of research and development, when the Nigerian Air Force started to focus on research and development, the primary objective was basically to repair and on some occasions to modify some aircraft equipment. But today we have got to a stage where we are able to actually have products of our own, some of which have already been patented. In the area of administration and welfare, one of those challenges that the Nigerian Air Force had in the past was that of accommodation of its personnel. But today, with the increasing focus under the current leadership of the Chief of Air Staff, Air Marshal Sadiq Abubakar, with a lot of focus on the building of residential accommodation, we have had accommodation sufficiency for our personnel moved to a level that it had never been before. And of course, we have other areas where we have made a lot of progress. And the bottom line is that 54 years ago, when the Nigerian Air Force was established by an act of parliament, there were many things that we couldn't do. But today, we are able to do those things. And one can say that the Nigerian Air Force has indeed come of age. And it's not only within the Nigerian ensures that we've been able to conduct our operations.
All right, I'd like to stop you there for that particular question now. Let me give you the next question, Air Vice Marshal, for want of time. Now, the two newly acquired Mi-35 helicopter gunships were inaugurated today. Now, how would that, of course, add to the success already recorded in the fight against terrorism? And again, do you have the manpower to actually operate such a high-class aircraft?
Thank you very much for that question. About 2015, when the current administration came into being, there was a very detailed assessment conducted of our operational capability, and it was realized that one of those platforms that we needed was the helicopter gunship, and others were placed. And actually, 2 were delivered last year, and 2 were delivered last week, and arrangements are ongoing to procure more. Certainly, the helicopter gunship, that's the Mi-35M, is one of the most sophisticated in the Mi helicopter gunship series. It comes with night fighting capability, and the good thing about it is that it can be re-rolled to perform many missions. It can conduct medical evacuation. It can also be used for transportation. It can go for recce, and most importantly, it can be used for ground assault. So certainly, the induction of this helicopter into the Nigerian Air Force will add a lot of impetus to our ongoing efforts at enhancing security in the nation. And of course, with the package, with the contract, also came the training of our pilots and technical crew. So as far back as 2016, we have had pilots, engineers, and technicians, as well as logistics personnel trained on the Mi-35M helicopters. And it's gratifying to note that even when these last 2 were delivered, our personnel participated in the reassembly of the helicopters, and our own pilots flew the helicopters all the way from Makurdi to Kaduna, and of course, they've been flying them since then.
All right, thank you very much indeed, Air Vice Marshal Olatakumbo Adesanya, the Director of Public Relations and Information in the Nigerian Air Force. Thank you for reaching us all the way from Kaduna Network Center. Now, for gang leaders and principal suspects in connection with the Offa bank robbery in Kwara State have been declared wanted by the Nigerian police force. The suspects have also been placed, on the list of suspected members who actually participated in the robbery, and also been placed on Interpol watch list and red alert. More than 20 principal suspects earlier arrested are assisting the police in the investigation into the incident. In a statement, the first public relations officer, Jimo Mushud, appealed to public-spirited individuals and general public for information that can lead to their arrest. The police pledged to conceal the identity of informants, in addition to the 5 million naira reward pledged by the Kwara State government for anyone whose information leads to the arrest of the wanted subjects. Now, you are watching Weekend File on the network service of the NTA, and we thank you for staying with us up to this moment. And our attention tonight is on the use of huge tons of hides and skins generated daily in Nigeria and how to enhance the industry for national development. The program returns after the break with reports from our correspondents.
A beautiful life and a great future is possible. Stand with Standards Organization of Nigeria. Avoid substandard products, electrical appliances with damaging effects, tires without DOT number, stuffed and rusty edges. They can cause accidents. 12.5 kg LPG cylinders used as camp gas is a disaster waiting to happen. Substandard cables can cause inferno. Other substandard products to avoid include batteries, electrical bulbs, iron rods, pressing iron, brake pads. They will only endanger our today and future. Join hands with SON in ridding our country of substandard products. Don't buy or sell substandard products. See something, say something. Call these numbers. Standards Organization of Nigeria. Improving life through standards.
The House Committee on Agricultural Colleges and Institutions cordially invites you to a two-day public hearing on the following bills. Act to regulate the profession of agriculture. Act to repeal the Veterinary Surgeons Act. Act to amend the Nigerian Research Institutes Act. Act to amend the Nigerian Cooperative Societies Act. Act to amend the Federal Universities of Agriculture Act. Act to establish the Fisheries Research Institute of Nigeria. Venue, 028 Conference Room, New Building, House of Representatives. Date, 7th and 8th May 2018. Time, 10 a.m. prompt. The committee hereby requests the memoranda on the bills to be submitted in 40 copies with a soft copy attached to the committee secretariat in room 313, 3rd floor, White House, House of Representatives, National Assembly Complex, Abuja. For further inquiries, kindly contact the committee clerk or reach the committee on its email. Honorable Linus Okorie, Chairman, Announcer.
Brought us as usual.
As usual. You have no problem.
For the three
You are welcome, sir.
As usual, yeah?
Welcome.
You take that one.
Yeah, take that one.
You don't understand? We want Nigerian homegrown rice. Finish. You don't have. You don't have.
Join the rice revolution today.
No other rice that tastes like Nigerian rice. Are you sorry? That's the Nigerian rice we are talking about. Chocolate made in Nigerian rice. Healthy food. I'm going to bring Mrs. Mom to come to chocolate rice made in Nigeria here. And see how it are made.
Correct.
And how they are cook it.
Correct.
Homegrown rice are good for your health. It boosts our economy and give employment to our people.
This message is brought to you by the Federal Ministry of Information and Culture.
Kehinde suffers from indigestion. His twin Taiyi suffers from heartburn. Sometimes it's the other way around, or both. That's why they use Gaviscon Double Action. It soothes within 3 minutes and lasts for up to 4 hours. For double relief from heartburn and indigestion, Gaviscon Double Action.
The Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development wishes to inform the general public, Nigerian farmers and key stakeholders in the agricultural value chain that activities marking the maiden edition of the National Farmers' Day celebration, scheduled for Tuesday, 8 May 2018, has been postponed. While regretting the inconvenience the postponement may cause, the ministry wishes to assure the public in general and the farmers and other stakeholders in particular that a new date will soon be announced for this important National Farmers' Day event. Dr. Buka Hassan, Permanent Secretary, Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development, announcer.
Give me the value pack. Helen!
You do great value shopping.
Absolutely. I'm a champion at getting value.
Then you must have bought the Hapic 200 ml.
Why Hapic when I have this?
Even after applying them 10 times, they won't give a sparkling clean toilet.
Impossible.
Challenge. Detergent and bleach can't give a sparkling clean toilet even after 10 times. But Hapic 200 ml gives a sparkling clean toilet at one go.
Wow.
Hapic 200 ml. Real deal. Now only 200 naira.
Now, let's take you back to the Ekiti State inconclusive governorship primary election and hear from the chairman of the committee, Governor Umaru Tanko Almakora in Ado Ekiti.
What happened was unfortunate. After making all efforts to finish accreditation, and even with the heavy downpour of the rain, we were able to manage the situation and started voting up to a point where we have reached close to about 6 local governments, which was about 30% of the entire process. But unfortunately, at that point in time, the attitude and conduct of some agents leaves much to be desired. They were unruly, and the place was about becoming chaotic. And as an exercise that is so critical and important for our party, I feel the atmosphere was not conducive to continue with the election. For now, we've decided to suspend until we receive further directives from the National Secretariat of APC. Meanwhile, I will appeal to our party members in Ekiti State and the country at large that what has happened is not unusual. When parties meet and there are quite a number of people angling for a position, up to 33, such rancors are always there, but when they reach a chaotic level where the management of such situation might be quite challenging, I think it is only...
Well, there's been the Governor Tanko Almakura of Nasarawa State, who was actually the committee chairman on the governorship primary election in Ekiti State. Now, back to Weekend File. Players in the livestock industry have stressed the need for Nigeria to review and redefine her policy on livestock subsector of the economy with a view of playing major role in the global hides and skins business. Even though Nigeria's hides and skin is ranked among the world's best, the country is, however, lagging behind in the 75 billion global hides and skin market. Agriculture correspondent Musa Babali takes a look at the Nigeria's potential in hides and skins and efforts by government and the private sector to boost local production and export.
This slaughtering lab is located in Abakaliki, Ebonyi State. It is estimated that no less than 100 donkeys are slaughtered here on a daily basis, basically for meat. While the community is interested in the meat, the butchers and hides merchants are interested in the skins. The skin, which is often costlier than the donkey itself, is being exported to Asia and Middle East, where the commodity is on high demand. Investigations show that the business of exporting donkeys' hides is being managed by the middlemen with little or no input from government.
6 months ago now, we used to buy each skin at the rate of 55. But now we have go down to the extent of 18, 19, 20, in fact 22, highest now.
Apart from donkey, it is also on record that an average of 15,000 animals, including cows, sheep and goats, are being slaughtered in the country daily, with Lagos having the highest number of 6,000 animals. This ranked Nigeria the largest producer of hides and skin in Africa, despite the fact that 30% of the skins go for delicacy, popularly called pomo.
So if this raw material is recovered and taken to industry for tanning, you discover that a lot of activity will be generated. The leathers we export will attract a lot of foreign exchange, and so a plus to the Nigerian economy.
Nigeria is said to be losing close to $35 billion due to lack of effective and efficient hides and skin business in the country. The major challenge is inadequate tanning industry in the country, while the aid available cannot meet the demand, he says.
More leather needs to be sourced. So it is a massive market, and it gives us such an opportunity for those who deal in both leather and finished leather goods to access some market share of this huge and growing market.
Federal government has banned the export of raw skin with a view to encouraging local production of hides, at the same time boosting her revenue from export of finished products. In Abuja, Musa Baba Aliyu, NTA News.
And the business of hides and skin has brought fortunes to thousands of people in Kano, especially the traditional and modern tanneries. Mohammed Rabiu Ali reports that despite huge market for tanners, stakeholders are still yearning for government support to meet international standards.
Over the years, Kano is known as commercial hub of the north because there is market for everything. The business of hides and skin is as old as Kano itself, looking at the history of the famous leather industry in Wambai. Tannering activities roll up on daily basis for about 200 years, but the fortunes of these tanners is minimal.
Our major problems in our business is middleman. Secondly, lack of capital. We don't have enough capital to boost our business. We take our process or our product directly to the England.
Nowadays, there are about 20 tanneries in Kano, which compete favorably with others in the world. This is with the support of federal government, which provides employment for thousands of youth.
Presently, I'm offering job to at least 13 people. We are going to start producing shoes, bags and other leather goods for local consumption, because Nigeria is a huge country.
But the question that needs an answer is, how can the traditional tanners enhance their productivity to meet global markets and arrest the problem of middlemen?
For them to have a larger global impact, maybe they have to come together so that whatever they are producing will now be in mass, so much so that it will make a statement in the global market.
Experts say stakeholders must come in and support the traditional tanners with modern facilities to meet international standards. From Kano, Muhammad Rabiu.
It will now take you to Jos, where our correspondent Kenemaran Kanen Ladoja, who visited the Naragota leather village in Jos, reports that the leather village craftsmen say lack of power, water, and conducive environment and requisite technology limit their productivity.
Skin are said to have international demand, where they are used in the production of leather products like shoes, bags, watch straps, belts, and decorative mats. Nigeria produces one of the best hides and skin in the world, which led the federal government to place a ban on the export of raw hide and skin from Nigeria, so as to encourage local processing of hides and skin and also generate employment for Nigerian youths. Abdullahi Shaibu is a leather consultant. He has learned the trade of manipulating leather to do different things, and he tells us that this trade has been in his family for over 80 years. Shaibu explained that their products have evolved over the years and boasts that their prosthetics products such as fingers, limbs are one of the best in the world, adding that they have trained over hundreds of youths in the earth.
Our limbs now, we compete with foreign ones. They're 10 times lighter, 10 times better, and looks just like human body.
So if Nigeria must improve and see how we can generate income from that is one, most of the synthetic leathers are imported materials. Why can't we place a ban on that?
We are clustering SMEs according to their areas of specialization in order to ensure that they have right access to the cutting-edge skills and technology to really boost their production.
To tap the enormous potentials in the industry, experts say the quality of the products must be refined to meet international standards, suggesting that governments should, as a matter of necessity, collaborate with the private investors on how best to scale up the sector.
The Chinese man says the best fertilizer to his farm is your food. If you are never on the farm can never be good. The people who want to assist young men see their factory, go to their workshop. If it means you importing the machine to give them, import and give them.
Providing incentives to willing investors and adequate financial backing for the industry, they say, will go a long way to improve the hides and skin business in Nigeria. In Jos, Ekemeren Kaneng Ladoja, NTA News.
All right, now let's take you over to Maiduguri, where Amina Fidi Amadu gives us a situation report.
Marketing of hides and skin, tannery and production of leather materials is a multi-million naira sector that has remained a part of culture and tradition of people of Borno even before the advent of colonialism. Borno tannery, considered one of the best equipped in West Africa. For decades, rural and modern methods of leather production have provided job opportunities to thousands of skilled and unskilled workers, especially youths engaged in the business.
Here in Maiduguri, we have a natal shoe factory. So now the natal is not moving. Almost a year or 2 years, the natal is not moving. So from here, the hide and skin, like that sheep skin, we used to buy it here and send it to Kano State.
The
markets in Borno and Yobe have slowed. We now take our products to Adamawa State.
The booming trade before the independence led to a situation where an area was named Biafra because of the multitudes of people that trooped in from eastern and western Nigeria to purchase the produce. All that is now history, as the tannery and one of the largest shoe production factory in the country, Natal Shoes, are now operational.
The company is a limited liability company. We want the government to come in for their own share. We want the privatization and for the people and buy shares.
Despite these challenges, including almost a decade of insurgency, skin trade has remained an indelible part of Borno, with goods coming in from as far as Sudan and Central Africa. The tanners are urging the government to resuscitate the industry, as it will not only improve revenue generation, but also create job opportunities for the teeming youths, improving economic stabilities for communities, reducing social vices and other acts of insurgency.
Sokoto is the second to Borno State in terms of livestock. And now let's join Muhammad Nassin to tell us more.
During free colonial Nigeria, there was an evidence of trade existed between the people of Sokoto and Arabian merchant, in which leather products featured as an object of transaction. Thus indicate that the area is highly blessed with large population of livestock, which are the main source of hides and skin. Presently in Sokoto State, there are particular quarters which houses people who specializes in treatment of leather of different ways, such as tanning, coloring, smoothing, and ornament for fashion and domestic purposes.
In the history, Sokoto has a lot of leather industries. Should be #1 in the country. If you look at the abundant hide and skin in the state, I believe the industries need to be supported so that a lot of people can get their daily meal through the activities of leather and leather-related products in the state.
Supply in hides and skin vary from time to time depending on the season, but there was never a seizure in supply of the product. Yet the processing machineries are not available to facilitate the business to a massive production and reproduction level, being it among the oldest occupation of the people in which they derive means of livelihood. Artisans are using simple implements in tanning and processing hides and skin. The reason that many of them are at the disadvantage of producing goods that can compete in the international market.
wanda mu nan ga gurgudu duk wanda mun kai shi sai mun shi a gargajiyance, amma idan ga kayan aikin shi zamu iya shi tsamshi to lahiya lau. Akwai riguna na sanyi na kayan sanyi na fata wanda duk wanda mun ka soyan sunan nan ga gurgudu sai mun nuna gargajiyanci cikin al'amari.
With all the problems, these people manage to produce the little they can, and yet market is not available for the product simply because they cannot give the leather goods the finishings required to match the goods from the international market. In Sokoto, Muhammad Nasir, NTA News.
And our live conversation is next. Do stay with us.
Helen! Your kitchen gets 10 out of 10. Thank you. This also gets a 10. Should we see the toilet now? Sure. This gets just 1. It is clean. But not perfect 10. Better than my detergent and bleach? Impossible. Challenge? Try the new Apic 10X.
Compared to bleach and detergent, Apic sticker formulation removes yellow stains times better, giving you a sparkling clean toilet.
Wow. Now you also take that Apic 10X challenge.
Also available in 200 ml pack.
We promise and we're delivering. This is the second winner of the ticket to Russia.
I feel so excited. I can't quantify my happiness. This is one experience that every Super Eagles supporter should experience. And I'm happy I'm one of those guys going to Russia to see the Super Eagles play Croatia and other teams in the World Cup. You need to start sending those text messages right now so that you can be a part of this. This is real. This is very real. Niger for Russia!
When I was a little girl, I loved spending time with Mum and Grandma cleaning the house. I knew what Grandma's secret was. I was so excited to sing in the choir. And your shirts are always so white. I knew what Mum's secret was. Today, I'm a modern woman that still trusts the secrets passed down to me.
It's Jik, of course, the trusted bleach which can be used all around your house for amazing results.
Shh, it's our little secret.
It's no secret. Jik removes 101 stains. Just Jik it.
Our Anchor Borers program has created an agricultural revolution. In September 2015, we imported 644,000 tons of rice, costing more than $5 million per day. By September 2017, rice imports dropped by 95% to 22,000 tons. Our maize crop has exceeded 10 million tons this year, and through our rice and maize program, we now have 12.2 million farmers. We are now the world's second largest producer of sorghum after the United States, third in millet after India, and we lead the world's production of yam and cassava. We've created numerous plantations solely for the export market, and our plan is to increase the agricultural sector from 25 to 49% of our GDP, thereby reducing poverty and increasing food security.
Our guest tonight is the Chief Executive Officer, Inclusive Access, Ajia Safia Mohammed Adamu, the convener of the National Summit on Health and Skin. Madam, you're welcome to Weekend File.
Thank you, sir.
All right. Now, how veritable is the health and skin sector in Nigeria? And, of course, what is the present state of affairs in this subsector?
Well, it's actually a very variable sector, subsector, I would say, because it's a subsector in agriculture. And it's a sector that holds a lot of potential. Very much undertapped, very much utilized, but it has a lot of potential because it's one subsector within the agriculture that really, especially in the livestock area, that can generate thousands of jobs. And, you know, it kind of like bounces down the downstream. Most of the businesses there are family businesses, one generation to another. And if you have one farm, one unit producing, you find that it produces a lot of, that unit tends to contain a lot of skills, different skills, from those who actually turn it, to those who design it, to those who stitch it. It has this large potential for generating jobs and creating wealth.
Now, you just convened a National Summit on Health and Skin. What is the takeaway from that conference? Because we were talking about the value chain in that subsector.
Yeah, the summit actually was convened in order to look at the entire value chain. We wanted to find solution to the disorganization, the disarray within the subsector. We wanted to fix the value chain right from the beginning, from the livestock up to the time it becomes leather. And reason is simple. If we don't fix that value chain, the Nigerian leather sector itself will remain a mirage. It will always be non-optimal, non-efficient, non-effective in production, and we'll be losing so much given the demand across the world now.
All right, you know, Momo is a delicacy in Nigeria, you know, and I don't know, how does it really affect the production of hides and skin? You know, because, well, in Lagos, for instance, you know, every home, Momo is a delicacy, so to speak, you know, right? So what effect does it have in turning out tons of hides and skin?
I hear that question every day, and I'm like, yes, there's a large consumption. I don't think it really plays much role in the turning out of hides and skin, because if you look at it, the consumption is more in one particular aspect of the country. Yes, it has spilled to other parts of the country, but essentially those who really work hide and skin still work very much on hide and skin. And remember that Nigeria, long before the pomo spread around, it's always been that the sub-Sahara trade was essentially dominated by hide and skin. That's how your Sokoto red got to Morocco to become the Moroccan leather, and how Borno came in the picture of being a large leather producing community. So for me, the Pomo, people always argue it, even the Wabasa would consume a lot of it, but I don't think so.
All right, now data from the National Bureau of Statistics showed that between 2014 and 2017, Nigeria had surplus of 126.66 billion naira in the international trade of hats and skin. If that is true, it means that we have enough, you know, to actually feed the nation's leather industry. Is that true?
We don't have enough. We don't have enough.
Why export?
Because We do export, even though the government has now banned export of raw, they now export what they call the crust. But we don't have enough, because if you look at our tanneries, out of, for example, if you go to like 41 tanneries, only 6 are marginally functional. They were very productive in the 70s, 80s. Right now, they are not. And just few factors are responsible for that. The operators have not been able to move up in technology, one. And two, the sector, like I said earlier, is very disorganized. And unless you have a very organized sector with good governance framework, you will not be able to feed these tanneries. And it is actually more beneficial for them to export the crust. Those who actually produce leather products in Nigeria buy imported, most of them buy imported leather from what we call lots. Lots are remnants from what other countries have used, imported into the country. So they get this ones from Mushin area in Lagos. And that is not good enough for us.
Now, you took up value chain as the topical issue in your summit, which is very important, because if there is value chain addition, in hides and skin, there will be needless exporting the raw hides and skin, which the other nation turn into products and still, bring it back home for Nigerians. So what can be done to stop this?
Like I said, we're trying to fix the value chain. If we fix the value chain, we are going to promote efficiency and create optimal utilization of what we produce. And if we're able to fix the value chain, which we're hoping to, because that's why we're taking it from the very beginning, livestock, how there was a lot of emphasis at that summit on how animals are bred, how you can get optimal skin from them, and then if you're killing the animal for the skin, what happens to the rest of it? We also that was highly discussed, so that we find that there are markets for the carcass out there. So if there's market, we have no reason not to breed the animals. Of course, Borno, we've lost a lot of it to insurgency. They've gone below, well below optimal production. But Sokoto, Kebbi, and like the Kebbi governor said, it's a very, very viable sector. They could actually breed more of these animals with intent to export using best practice. Acceptable to the rest of the world. And when we talk about best practice, we're also talking about environmental issues,
yes, and
because of course
technology. Thank you very much, Safia Mohammed Ademu. Thank you indeed for being part of our show tonight. Safia Mohammed Ademu is the Chief Executive Officer of the Inclusive Access and the convener of the very first summit on hides and skin. Thank you once again for being here.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Sports and weather shortly.
Experience, they say, is the best teacher.
They hold us from the sea. Thank God that we came back home. They should not go there because it's not good. It's a very bad place. So they just may have us.
Even now, sir, if they are shooting the boat they are going to use to go Italy, may they stop it. Our country is good. Our country is a blessed country. Now I know our country is a blessed country. I know before I for not travel from Nigeria to Libya. I know how much I spent.
Let these personal experiences serve as a lesson to all who would repeat their mistakes. A word is enough for the wise.
This is a public service announcement brought to you by NTA.
Now, the 5th National Triathlon Championship is set to hold in Lagos on Sunday as Nigeria para-athletes intensify training ahead of the para-rolling regatta in Guevara, Italy. Gift George has more on Sports Update.